How y'all doing this evening? I got a burning question. I got a burning question for the people down to the yoo-hoo. Let me change my ring. I got a question for you. You ready to know the answer? Y'all want to know what my question is? My question is, what is a delta? What is a delta? A delta is what an Aka ain't, what a Zeta wanna be, what an Etchy rotate, what the alphas like, what the kappas love, what Q Psi Phi can't get enough of. Do this. Come on, DST. Happy Founders Day. Happy Founders Day to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, baby. I would yell out the thing, but the girls will get real mad. I'm gonna do it anyway. They're gonna be ready to cancel me, y'all. They're gonna have me on all the HBCU forums talking about he being disrespectful to the Deltas. Talking about we being disrespectful. Did y'all see that gay boy? That gay boy was on his show throwing up the pyramid. Girl, go sit. Y'all better go sit down somewhere because I fight. Y'all know I fight women, so don't even start this shit. All right. But congratulations and happy Founders Day to the women of Delta Sigma Theta, each and every last one of them, except for Robin Dixon. Okay. And listen, I ain't the one who said that. It was one of y'all shady, shiesty ass sorors who said it. When y'all get into this right here, baby, this is the funniest non-sisterly meme I have seen in a long time. And somebody said, happy Founders Day to all my sorors, except for Robin Dixon. This is first class Founders Day shade. Oh my God. This is so shady. This is Deltas. Tell us how y'all really feel. Let me tell y'all something. Is a woman who eat carpet, who munch on carpet, who led the husband and the family wrong and all the money got spent up, who husband do not want her and was caught saying on a live mic, if it wasn't for the kids, he would be out. Is this representative of Delta Sigma Theta's finest? You know, Delta, put your best foot forward and put your best members on television. And I'm assuming that Robin Dixon is one of y'all best members. And she's representative. So fellas, if you want to run around on your woman with no accountability, talk to her any kind of way, and have women's in hotel rooms, and you kind of know, and you like them a little gay, you like them with a little trucker in them, go get you a Delta. Go get you a Delta, honey. Robin Dixon has showed us that the Deltas will give you masculine man energy. They'll eat a little cooch. You know, they're just a little gay, feminine enough to pass, but they'll let you run all over them and treat you any kind of way. Go on and come on, Deltas. Now, all that stuff about the husbands and stuff, that's funny. Y'all gonna get mad when I say this, but y'all know the most lesbians be Deltas. Now, y'all can get mad. Y'all can call it colorist. They be dark skinned with short hair, and they all be on the college basketball team, and they be lesbians. The Deltas got a now everybody could get it. Y'all be laughing when I be going in on the SG rolls, and the next thing they gonna be like, he's so disrespectful. And on our Founders Day, everybody could get it. Y'all know the Deltas be fit most dark-skinned lesbians with shortcuts. And they do. And they do. They do now. Y'all know Now, I'm going to tell you one thing about it. No matter on what campus you go to, the Delta's going to be the hardest workers on the campus because they men's. Okay. What is a Delta? What is a Delta? Oh, yeah. Y'all know y'all Deltas be full of lesbians. Girl, cut it out. My DST, the carpet munching T, that's the T. DST stand for don't say I ain't told you. Okay. DST stand for don't say I ain't told you. Okay. Oh Lord. Shouts out though. Let me move on to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta. In all honesty, if I was a woman, I would have wanted to be a Delta. I always loved the Deltas, at least the Deltas out at Florida State campus. Shouts out to all of my friends who are a member of Kappa Epsilon. Kappa Epsilon chapter of Delta Sigma Theta at Florida State University is and will forever be the imprint in my mind of what a Delta woman is supposed to be. So shouts out to all the members of Kappa Epsilon, Kappa Epsilon chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. Sorority Incorporated. If you are a Delta, just so everybody in the chat can know, drop in the chat what chapter you from, what year you pledged, all that other good stuff as we get into these stories. Now I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm not going to play it because I don't want my monetization to be compromised, but I will say this. If you have not heard Akbar V's Baddie Shot O'Clock. All right. And y'all know, no, I'm not high. I had a cocktail at happy hours. I'm good. I'm high off of life. If you have, and y'all know I don't like the new girls' music. I think it's dumb. I'm going to be very honest when I say this. Akbar V has more rap talent in her pinky finger than I want to say 90% of the rap girls that's out. I think something else that Akbar has on her side is her size. There's no other rap girls in the game right now that are her size. And what do I mean by her size? Like, even though she did have surgery, the natural, obtainable looking, thick girl, Akbar V is pretty. Akbar V does not have to lead with sex and selling her punani because she can actually rap. Secondly, if you don't want to mess with Akbar because of her antics and her own rapping, the fact that she was able to take Shamar from the slow bus to the front of the class lyrically, she could be a ghost writer for a lot of people. Quiet as it's kept. I'm not lying to you. After hearing Baddie Shot O'Clock and how hard that beat is, I was actually thinking about reaching out to Akbar and having her do my opening theme music. And I'm still thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out if that beat and that cadence of rap goes with the tone that I'm trying to set. But I'm like, Baddie Shot O'Clock, I like it. And now I don't keep up with that Zoo stuff, but I know she's into it with one of the girls named Biggie. Here is the thing. I know I love when you take it to wax. Now, my analogy might be a reach, but this reminds me of Jay-Z and Nas when Nas came through with Ether. I honestly and truthfully, I would have to ball up in a ball under my bed in fetal position and literally be a recluse for a solid 6 months if I got into it on the internet with somebody and they came out and made a song this good. I'm going to be honest with you. As long as I've been knowing who Akbar is, the person, I can't tell you a single thing Akbar sings, and I can't tell you a single thing that she has said lyrically that has ever stuck with me. This has stuck with me, honestly and truthfully. And this is what I want to happen. And Akbar, I hope somebody send this to her. Akbar, I think that you should probably write 3 or 4 more songs for Shamar. People are booking Shamar right now. I like seeing Shamar like this. I don't like seeing Shamar being exploited on the comedy skits or whatever. And here's the thing, with Akbar's writing, she could have went and got anybody. She could have went and got anybody to rap because she writes so good. This was a good look for Shamar. I liked it. We like Shamar. We want to see him do better. And this go around, he wasn't rapping in cursive. Okay, so like Akbar, there may be a world, honestly and truthfully, where you and Shamar are like the duo we didn't know we needed. You can rap really good, and I think people sit on pins and needles waiting for Shamar to come out to hear what he's going to say. We're rooting for Shamar. He is the underdog, and honestly and truthfully, I'm not trying to be funny, but I just don't understand why, if Sexy Red can be as big as she is, I honestly think Shamar can be equally as big if he had a ghostwriter. People love and hate Shamar at the same time. And although his follower count on his social media accounts might not reflect it, everybody knows who Shamar is. They just don't follow because they don't want that crazy slow bus stuff coming up on their timeline like me. Everybody, gay, straight, young or old, knows who Shamar is. And Akbar, I think you should write him some more songs. And then too, if you write me one too, Akbar, I want to sing. I want to say something, but just don't, it got to be a fun song. I'm putting this out there. Akbar, I want you to write me a verse. I want us to do a fun summer song. Up tempo, fast and fun. Something that's just about people having fun. I don't want to be caught in the middle of your mess, throwing no shade, because I can't fight like them Zeus girls. I'm not finna be someone trying to get me some lemon pepper wings and a hookah, and one of the Zeus girls just run up and punch me in the face. See, I'm old school. I need a build up. When I get in a fight, I need to know why I'm fighting the person. I need there to be at least 2 or 3 minutes of arguing so I can understand why we fighting. The Zeus girls just walk in and say hello and then punch somebody in the face and ask them their name later, or they don't even find out their name until it's on the police report. I don't want to get beat up by default. I don't want to get beat up just because I know you. So when you write a song for me, think Will Smith, summer, summer, summertime. Think Welcome to Miami, Bienvenido a Miami. Think Get Jiggy with It. Something real lame, something real corny, something that's not going to get me beat up. I need to be able to go to Crenshaw, Inglewood, New York, Baltimore, Miami, and walk around the streets of Atlanta, circle back down to Houston, and not worry about getting beat up. Okay? That part. Let me see. I'm feeling crunk. What I'm gonna light? Let's go ahead and light that 305. If y'all got y'all candles, let me tell y'all something. I love the positive reviews that we have been getting on the candles. I know y'all had to bear with some of us on the shipping, but when y'all bought the lady out, and a lot of people who have submitted things saying they didn't get their candle, in about a day or two, they've all been coming back and saying, we've got it. If you didn't get your order, just bear with us, baby. It's coming. Trust me, they are coming, and it is definitely worth the wait. But if you're looking at the show right now, fix your drink, pour that 305, light that 305 candle, and let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I wanted to do something a little light at the top of the show because, of course, we have to talk about these fires. And let's get into the first things first. So, I'm glad that Rolling Stone did this article that reads the Kardashians are amongst LA's worst water wasters, using 333,000 gallons over county limit in the month of June alone. And so Yvette Nicole Brown is the person who posted this post. And this is in response to Khloe Kardashian speaking negatively about the Black woman mayor of LA, and people are also coming for Gavin Newsom. So listen, listen. I get it, right? I get that when there's a loss of life, when there's a massive loss, when there's a natural disaster, emotionally, people are mad and they're just looking for someone to blame. They're looking for someone to blame. And honestly and truthfully, it gets very sketchy sometimes, right? Because I know um, some people are like, I just had a stroke like TD Jakes. I lost my thought because I read something. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. I had a stroke like TD Jakes for real. Looking for someone. Oh, and they use situations like this to interject some of their veiled racism. You know what I'm saying? It's a little weird and it's a little touchy when you have privileged white adjacent people coming for the Black mayor. And a lot of people, why are you making it about race? It ain't because she Black. I don't know. I feel a little funky. And it's like, why you around here concerned about the water? That's 333,000 gallons that somebody else could have used to spray on their house. Listen, guys, listen. We can buy into the propaganda all we want. We can buy into the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We can buy into the if they would have signed this back in the day, this would have happened today. But the reality of the situation is there is no amount of anything any man could do that could circumvent those 100-mile-an-hour winds blowing embers and other pieces of debris on fire across dry bush in a desert and supply water to the hundreds of thousands of people. Guys, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. And like I said, somebody in some of the comments earlier said, yeah, tell that to somebody who lost their house. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I am not trying to SHIT on those people's pain. I get it. Speaking of, Amanda Seales reached out to me, guys. And on Wednesday's show, because again, me being over here in Atlanta in my own world, I didn't really have a firm grasp on what was going on over there in California, especially in Altadena. I will have Nikki High from Octavia's bookstore. It is a Black-owned bookstore, and she's been born and raised in Altadena all of her life. She will be on the show Wednesday to talk about all things Black Altadena, the history of Altadena, the amount of loss that they're experiencing right now, the politics that's going on right now, and moreover, I will be allowing her to grace my platform to tell us about what we can do to help. Somebody said, please get someone else. You was listening with one ear and not two. It's not Amanda Seales. It's Nikki High from Octavia's bookstore. She will be on the show. Amanda Seales will be back in certain capacities as well, but I don't think Amanda Seales' expertise is fire. Nevertheless, we are going to get into that on Wednesday. But this is what Yvette Nicole Brown had to say about Khloe Kardashian. Guys, we got some more loss. And let me ask y'all a question now. We got about, we took a little bit, we didn't spend that much on Jimmy Carter film because the peanuts in the burlap sack wasn't that much. We still have over about $6 million in some change in the funeral fund. Now, do y'all want to keep the money in the funeral fund and keep it for films, or do we want to donate some of it to the cause? Now, y'all know how we came up short when we were stockpiling money for Colin and then everybody died. My reservation is if we start dishing out and doling out some of the money for fire rescue, trying to act like we funky financial FEMA, then you just watch and see people gonna start dying all over again, and we ain't gonna have no money for the people funerals. So should we mind our business and keep our money in the funeral fund, or should we donate just a little bit? So a lot of people saying donate. Some people saying keep it in the film. Some people say we should have a fish fry. KW said give 10%. Somebody say mind our business. Somebody said give $1 million. Then somebody said what's $1 million in LA? Or they say, oh, give $1 million to LA. We'll keep taking fund fumes on. You know what? That's what we'll do. All right, the Funky Bunch, we can fund the fumes. We can fund the fumes, but we're not giving no money for y'all to go back and rebuy shit out of crate and barrel and be living better than us. Okay, y'all gonna have to wait on FEMA. And quiet as it's kept, they say FEMA is up there in Carolina still. Girl, did y'all hear the FEMA people? It had done got cold. They got them flood people living in trailers. Baby, they said the trailers didn't have no propane. They had went to the FEMA office, bitch. And FEMA had put a note on the door that said they was out of the office, said be back tomorrow. And the people was out there in the cold over the weekend. Over the weekend, baby, FEMA had done closed. FEMA said we ain't got no more. I don't know why FEMA closed, but baby, them people was out there in the cold. Nevertheless, Kechia Cole house burnt down in the LA fires, guys. This is never fun. And her friend Jonathan, the hairstylist, told it. And you know, this is just sad all the way around. Now, I would like to address something because there seems to be this debate on social media. Regine just got involved, and a lot of people are getting involved saying things like, you know, people are being assholes for being so insensitive to celebrities, that these people have worked hard for what they have, and that, you know, they deserve sympathy and prayers and all of that stuff too. And here is the point that I want to make. I understand that celebrities have worked hard for what they have, right? And I understand that they have lost all their possessions and memories, so on and so forth. And yes, they do deserve a certain level of sympathy. But when it comes to the hierarchy of who my sympathies are going to, while I sympathize with what they are going through, I am not worried about the person who can put their family, their kids, and their pets in the station wagon and use their American Express to stay at the Ritz-Carlton for however long they need to until they secure more housing. I am not really concerned about the rich person that's well invested, who has insurance, and can go stay in one of their other homes until the insurance company writes the check and they rebuild. Again, it is sad, but you at least have food, shelter, you still are comfortable, and you still have the ability to live a privileged life. I am concerned about that Altadena resident that's 80 something years old, who the house has been in the family for 60 and 7 years, who's living off of a fixed income, and bite me, who doesn't have insurance. There are a lot of people who are walking around with paid off homes right now that don't have insurance, homeowners insurance. let's face it, a lot of people don't have insurance unless they're forced to have it via auto insurance laws or homeowners insurance because they have a mortgage still. There are a lot of people with paid off homes that don't have insurance. That's the person I'm worried about. I honestly and truthfully, I'm not even worried about the 40-somethings that have great jobs that lost everything, because you know what? It sucks, but you got enough life left to rebuild. I'm talking about the senior citizens, guys, on the fixed income. When it comes to where my sympathy goes first, if I have any left over after worrying about them, then I can extend a little more to Tina Lawson, Paris Hilton, Boma St. John, Kechia Cole. And some people put in the comments, all celebrities are not rich. Well, then I put them in that bunch as well. My working actors and actresses, I'm okay. My condolences to y'all, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm not losing any sleep because one of Paris Hilton's many homes burnt down. I'm not losing any sleep because Tina Knowles' vacation home in Malibu burnt down, or one of her many homes burnt down. And you're not going to guilt me into feeling like a sick individual because I have sympathies, but just not a lot for rich people. Yes, loss is loss and pain is pain, but I'd rather be processing my pain from a luxury suite in the St. Regis than to be processing it from the gymnasium of a Boys and Girls Club, because that's where FEMA placed me. Trust and believe, as much as y'all want to be dense about it, there's an effing difference. There is an effing difference, all right? Paris, Tina, Kechia Cole, Bozma, they're not sitting somewhere worried about telling that, not being able to tell they up from down. Yes, their feelings are hurt. Yes, their feelings are hurt. Yes, they're crushed. Yes, they're somewhere sad. But they are somewhere sad with room service and Egyptian thread count sheets, while the 80-year-old Altadena resident has no income, is unemployable, and has lost their home. So while everybody deserves sympathy, the lion's share of mine is going to the people who need sympathy and resources. Let's put it that way. My sympathy is first going to the people who need sympathy and resources. And I'm sorry, I don't give a damn if we all live on the same block and all of our houses burn down. The bitch that got $1 million in their bank account, you ain't going through the same grief as the bitch that's living paycheck to paycheck. You ain't going through the same grief, bitch. And it's nothing y'all gonna say that's gonna make me believe Paris Hilton and Tina Knowles is experiencing the same level of grief that the 81-year-old Altadena resident is. You're not gonna make me believe it. Not today. Maybe tomorrow, but you ain't gonna get me to believe that today. Moving right along. Now, this one might make you laugh or it might make you cry, but this lady left her son. This lady says her disabled son said, "Mom, leave me." And a lot of people saying she aligned BITCH, and that boy said, "You bet not leave me in here, BITCH." And that's what she did. But I'm gonna tell y'all what the gag is in this story. The gag is that bitch left her son but packed her peacocks. She left her son but packed her peacocks. Left her son, but packed her peacocks in that car and made sure them peacocks got out. It's giving a real PPP loan fraud tease. Get into this.
He was my baby, and he died needlessly.
His mum Shelley revealing the litany of letdowns as the Palisades fire approached.
Guess what didn't work? 911. All the phone lines were down.
Rory, who was born blind with cerebral palsy, lived in a self-contained cottage on the property. Embers were raining down. Shelley's hoses ran dry.
He said, "Mom, leave me." And no, Mom can leave the kid. And I've got a broken arm. I couldn't lift him. I couldn't move him. When the fire department brought me back, His cottage was burnt to the ground.
You know, I saw a lot of parents in the chats across multiple blogs saying, couldn't be me. I couldn't have left my child. You know, I don't know what I would have done in the situation. Let me just read the part, y'all, about the peacocks. Says she went out there and tried to put out the fires, but the water hose produced no water. She tried to call 911, but the phone lines were down. She then tried to move him, but because she had an injured arm, she couldn't move him or lift him. He then reportedly told her to leave him and save herself. He was always worried. He was a kid. Shelly says she got into her car with her pet peacocks and tried to go to the local fire station to get help. But when the firefighters came back, yeah, you know, and listen, I'm gonna save my what you should have did because I don't know the complete circumstances. It just seems to me right now, if you are currently, because hindsight's always 2020, but currently, if you are a family that's within 5 to 10 miles of where these fires are, and you have a disabled person, an elderly person, it would just seem to me that in this moment, you would preemptively leave. It would seem to me that you would preemptively leave. We're hearing a lot of stories about families having to leave disabled people or elderly people in the houses, and it's sickening. I've also heard other stories of moms and dads and family members that have just died in the place with their loved ones. I'm sorry. Had it been me, I would have put some comforters down on the ground and I would have tied a sheet around his foot and I would have tied that sheet to my car and I would have had to drag his ass down the street or whatever and or drag his ass on a comforter down the street until we got to some humans that could help me put him in the car. I mean, there just seems to me like a lot more stuff she could have did outside of packing up them damn peacocks. I don't know. I'm not going to pass judgment on the lady. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe the fire just erupted out of nowhere. You know, it's unfortunate all the way around. Last but not least, when it comes to the fire story, guys, you know, people always want to holler, where's Michael Jordan? Where's Beyonce? Where's Tyler Perry? Beyonce's foundation, and some of y'all watch still going to be like, this ain't good enough. But Beyonce's foundation donates $2.5 million for fire relief to the LA Fire Relief Fund. There's not much else story there, just to let y'all know. Beyonce did a little something to help the fire relief victims. All right, y'all. The girls are fighting. So Charelle Rosado, who seems to listen, Charelle is collecting her things. She had the show Selling It in Tampa. Then she's got the new show that's televised, and now a podcast through Shay Media, which is Shannon Sharp's situation. And Chad Ochocinco has taken to social media and seems to not really be cool with the situation because him and Shannon are boys. And how could Shannon be my boy, have me on his show, and is back here canoodling with my ex-girl and gives her a deal behind my back? So, you know, Charelle posts that she's going to be on the thing. She says, we are proud to announce that Humble Baddies has joined Shay Media family, yada, yada, yada. And Ocho Cinco wrote, so nobody was going to run this first by me to see if I was okay with this partnership. And he writes, y'all got me effed up. I'll do my own damn podcast, and gives the peace sign saying he's out. And I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I definitely do think it's a huge violation of boy code, girl code, boy code, whatever you want to call it. But but I'm willing to say he was in on it, and it's got everybody talking and everybody wanting to see it. And I think somebody in the chat already said it was marketing. I think chat is really good when it comes to business. And I think that he wants her to win, whether they're together or not. And this was just a great way to get the word out. But Charelle got a podcast, and hopefully I'll have her on this show pretty soon. So let's talk about, while we in the sports world, Deion Sanders made an appearance on Tamron Hall talking about Travis Hunter. And I love what he had to say. Take a listen to this.
Advice did you give him? Because you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've been in the pressure cooker.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
See,
Did it hurt you when he had to deactivate his account?
It hurt me that he did,
Really?
because what the enemy wants you to do is stop. I don't hunt and I don't kill. I don't do that, but I'm a country boy that lives on a ranch. And I understand with the wild hogs that come and ravage my property and the deer that runs, and I don't let nobody touch them. But when people want to harm them, they harm them because they get a clean shot and they steal. When you moving, it's hard to get a good shot at you if you keep on moving. And when somebody stays still, now you got a chance to attack. And I hate the stillness of that.
I love what he said. And if you look at the clip further, he was like, you got endorsements. You need your stuff. You need your stuff activated. You got endorsements. You need to be able to post. Here's the beautiful thing about this young man. I want to tell y'all something. When it comes to media and being drugged in the media, take it from somebody who knows. The best thing that you can do is really be drugged real bad at the beginning of your career. The best thing you can do is be drugged real bad. And what do I mean by that? So y'all all remember my scandal when I got evicted, and the drugs and all of this type of stuff. When I tell y'all, that's like one of the worst, most embarrassing and humbling things that I've ever had to experience. But I'm going to tell you something. After that happened, like, honestly and truthfully, there really is nothing worse that can happen to me in the media. And if it does happen, it literally would be water rolling off of my back. Like, once you experience that level of embarrassment, that level of hurt, and you get through it, and once you get through it, it's like everything else just bounces off you. And that's why I'm able to fare so well in this space, because it legitimately ain't nothing a bitch can say on the internet at this point that can hurt my feelings. I have already experienced the most hurtful and lowest of low that you can feel when it comes to being embarrassed down to the internet. It's already happened. Anything, and I survived. So now the next thing that happened, it's like, child, been here, done it, got the postcard. Been here, done it, got the postcard, or whatever. And hopefully for Travis and that young lady. Now, I want to tell you what's really gonna mess Travis up. Travis, I know Deion would never say this in public, but my spirit tells me that Deion is a good uncle. And I hope like hell Deion took that young man in the back and talked to him. Talk to him about prenups and not rushing and not getting her pregnant. Like, all of those would be the wrong moves. And with him being so young, I could see him wanting to pacify her feelings by giving her the world. Oh, baby, I'm ready to marry you. Let's have a baby. Let's and hopefully he doesn't, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. She just does not. And we ain't in nobody's relationship. We don't know her head or her heart. She just does not feel like a good fit for him, especially after I seen what we saw on the internet. It just don't feel like this is going to end well for this young man as it relates to that young woman. Moving right along. Y'all, we can't do nothing no more that we used to do back there in the community. Y'all remember I told y'all the little boys knocked on my door and wanted to cut my yard. I mean, I wanted to help clean up my yard. I had some leaves and sticks out there. And, you know, those are the type of noble coming of age things that people do. When I was coming up, young boys would walk around with a lawnmower, ask people, especially like old ladies or single moms, could they cut their yard or whatever. You can't even do that no more. This old frowsy heifer, Pittsburgh woman, is arrested for luring young boys with $5 to shovel snow, then getting them drunk and allegedly assaulting one of them. Now, first of all, the first crime is that they was only charging $5 to shovel snow. But she then brought them in to serve them hot chocolate, guys, and she put vodka in the hot chocolate. One of the young men left his coat or left something at her house. They had to go back over there, and when they went back over there is when she touched them in between their legs and in their butt. Take a listen.
Two boys drunk here along Wind Gap Avenue. They were in the area shoveling snow for money. But investigators say instead of just giving them cash, one woman gave them alcohol instead.
That's a shame. That's very sad. Very sad.
Neighbors were upset and disgusted when they heard what Pittsburgh police say unfolded just down the street Wednesday evening. Court documents say this woman, Rochelle Stewart, agreed to pay $5 to two boys who looked as if they were 12 or 13 years old for shoveling her walkway. Police say as they were doing so, she invited them inside for hot chocolate. That led to her filling their cups with vodka and wine and allegedly trying to touch them inappropriately, according to investigators.
Very shocked and very disappointed in the neighborhood for that woman doing that.
Neighbors who did not want to
I'm going to be honest with y'all, and I'm going to ask the committee. Do y'all want her to go to jail, or do y'all just want the boys' mamas to go around there and fight her? Honestly and truthfully, I'm thinking we should just let the mamas go over there and fight her. I honestly think that would be better than her going to jail. I want them to fight. I want them to knock on her door, and she don't have no shoes on because she in the comfort of her home. And I want them to pull her by her hair and drag her out and fight her down to the snow. Now, she old, y'all. Now, listen. She old, so she can't get both. She can't get both. So either we going to send her to jail or we going to bam on her door and fight her down to the snow. If we going to bam on her door and fight her down to the snow, put bam in the chat. If we want her to go to jail, put jail in the chat. But she old. She can't get beat up and go to jail, y'all. So it's only one. If we gonna bam on her door and fight her, put bam in the chat. And if we gonna send her to jail, put jail in the chat. Overwhelmingly, people saying bam. I think we should bam on that bitch door. I think we should bam on the dough. I think we should bam on that dough and rearrange her face and rearrange her scalp. I say bam on the dough. Jail don't fix some things. Like some things, because that bitch still got 3 hots in the cot. All right. Is she going to be in there watching TV? I want to bam on her dough. Unanimously, we bamming on her dough, and then we going to pray we don't go to jail. Okay. Moving right along, guys. Meghan James did a podcast where she said she don't know if Basketball Wives Orlando coming back. I'm here to tell you it ain't. And we don't want it to. We didn't even know it was here when it came on. We didn't even know it was here when it came on. Take a listen.
You brought up Basketball Wives Orlando. Is the show coming back? Is it on pause? Like, what's the official?
Okay, so the show was good, wasn't it?
It was good.
I don't know.
So y'all don't hear anything? You can't call Shani and ask her?
They don't. The thing about it is they don't tell us anything. It's so crazy because every time that I've asked, like, and I'm like cool with like a couple of network
Yeah.
executives too. I'll be like, hey, have you heard anything like in the back rooms of our show? They'll be like, we don't know.
Go to the church and ask Shawnee after service.
Yeah, go to the church.
Shawnee, she's probably not even worried about it.
Yeah.
Like Shawnee's a very successful woman.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, we were like a lot of these shows are trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all trialed and it aired. And I'm here to tell you, Meghan and the rest. And listen, I'm not mad with her whatsoever for the wishful thinking, because those are great checks. Those are great checks. And she don't want to say nothing to put her foot in her mouth. But the show ain't coming back. Love and Marriage Huntsville, they start filming this week. The other girls Married to Medicine. The moment they get them, the Housewives girls, the moment they get off those reunion stages, boom, a week later, pick up notice with a date. Trust and believe. You know what these networks do, they just don't say out loud, out loud to the public, canceled, because there is a world where the show can potentially be revamped in the future. You see what I'm saying? Just like Basketball Wives Orlando popped up out of nowhere. We didn't know what the hell was going on. And to be honest, y'all really, you did it wrong. I watched none of it, but Royce Reed lives in Orlando. I don't give a damn if she ain't got no money or not. There is no reason why Royce Reed was not at least a friend of the show. Why did y'all not go back and get Susie? Why did you not go back and get Gloria? Y'all had nothing to anchor the show. Meghan James is not that interesting. We don't care about Meghan James. I'm not trying to be shady. There is absolutely nothing aspirational about Meghan James. See, part of the success about these reality TV shows, especially when they're supposed to be showing off glitz and glam and bags and Birkins and cars and stuff, the viewer has to want to be that person. The viewer has to be like, damn, I want her life. Damn, I wish I had her life. Or the viewer has to be like, damn, she's so interesting. I want to see what it is she does on a daily basis. I want to peek. Honestly and truthfully, Meghan, we're not interested about anything about you because you're not interesting. And that's the God honest truth. You're not interesting. And they tried to use you as the figurehead and the anchor for the show. And it just, honestly and truthfully, y'all would have been better off. And I'm just throwing this out here. You would have been better off springboarding the show again using the Govan sisters. You would have been better off getting Laura and her sister again, if they're talking again. I can't remember if they're talking or not. You'd have been better off doing that. You'd have been better off sending Jackie Christie to Orlando to get it started. Her storyline would be her and Doug are looking for another sunny home on the other side of town. Doug is friends with Grant Hill and Shaq and all these other people. So y'all got a home in Orlando. Shawnee once lived in Orlando. You should have used Shawnee to, I mean, there's just so many things you could have did to anchor this show greater than Meghan James. And it just goes to show that a lot of these producers and whatnot are just out of touch, don't know what the hell's going on. They don't have their foot on the ground, and they don't know. We want to see Royce being on TV broke and losing her mind. We want to see it. We want to see the juxtaposition between you being on Basketball Wives and driving a Toyota Camry while all the rest of the girls rich and you ain't got no money. Like, that's interesting. That's an interesting friend dynamic. Y'all would have been better off starting another Basketball Wives, using one of Matt Barnes' new girlfriends and throwing one of them Govan sisters on there, and all the people like, I mean, there's just so much that could have been done with it. And to be honest with you, what you should have did, quiet as it's kept, what you should have did was called Drea. You should have called Drea. And y'all should have let it, and y'all want a younger crowd, you should have called Drea and let Drea set it off with her and a crew of her baddies. If you wanted to be lazy, Funky, how about you and Nikki Gilbert produce an R&B Divas reboot? Nikki Gilbert, let's do this. And I may have a home for it. Last story on the agenda, guys. This is Nene Leakes talking about what it will take for her to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta outside of a Christmas miracle. Let's get into it.
Make up with Andy Cohen, is that a possibility? Y'all in meetings, conversations, thoughts, anything?
Well, we're not in meetings. We did settle our dispute with each other. I don't know if I'll go back to Housewives. I don't know what that looks like for me, but I won't say never. If they got a check that's got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on the end, you know, I might be back. I don't know.
When you say settle their dispute, was it financial settlement or?
I can't say, but we did settle everything.
You and Andy cool now? Y'all speak now?
I haven't spoken to him. No, but I'm not against speaking to him, but I haven't spoken to him.
It'd be a no-brainer. I mean, I know you get this all the time, but
I do.
It's kind of ridiculous that they haven't asked you to come back yet.
I don't know.
And the franchise is struggling.
You know, I do miss the trips. I do miss the check. I don't miss the arguments. And I felt like if I was there, they would have to put certain girls around me. Like all of those girls that are there, and I don't even know who they are.
So, you know, Nene's been there long enough that she's actually producing the show right now in her head. So here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I would love to see Nene Leakes back, right? I would love to see Nene Leakes back. I just don't. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I can tell you, because part of Nene's lawsuit was about, you know, the racist practices allegedly and them blackballing her and her not being able to work. And I knew that when she popped back up on the New Year's thing or whatever it was on E, that they had done some type of settlement. And in order to pacify the agreement, they gave her a job just to say, look, you know, we're not against you. You can still work. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what world you sue your employer. You call your employer a cokehead, whether it's true or not. You blast your employer, and then you come back and you get positively rewarded with $1 million a season. I think that although their dispute is handled and they in good faith gave her some work on NBC Universal to prove like, look, we're not against you. We gave you a little piece of job on E. I think just to be nasty, if it was me and if I was still hurt, just to be nasty, there would be no way I'd invite her back and give her $1 million a season or whatever it is they're going to pay her. That's if I wanted to be nasty. Okay. Now, if I didn't want to be nasty and if I wanted to put the business first, if I could get over myself, I didn't want to be nasty and I wanted to put the business first, I think that egos aside, bringing Nene Leakes back is what it would take. But like she said, you would have to stack the cast right, and it would have to be a couple of the OGs, and then it would need to be enough of the OGs that have enough relationships with the new girls that they can be the bridge, and then eventually they can all become one. But Nene Leakes is reality TV gold, and there's no way around it. I'm just curious to know why. You remember how when Basketball Wives was over, Evelyn went over there and did Live in Rosado. See, the thing about it is, and I may be wrong, I don't think that Nene Leakes is interesting enough on her own to carry just a Nene show. I definitely think she is a main character amongst a group of supporting characters. Somebody said just give her a talk show. I think Nene in a certain talk show format would be great, but I don't think that the show would have range. I don't think that the show would have much range. And so with that being said, that's a lot for one person to fill for an hour. Again, Nene does very well in supporting cast situations. And I'm going to tell you something Carlos King said to me many years ago when he was producing them. We were talking one time and he said, Nene Leakes does good in conflict. All the housewives shows are struggling in ratings. It's fair to think Nene is the reason why. Is it fair to think Nene is the reason why RHOA is struggling? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, it's not hard to find another sassy Black woman who can roll her neck and throw out quick one-liners. It's not hard to find. But we're not going to negate the fact that Nene Leakes is Housewives of Atlanta is the house that Nene built, and we enjoy her on TV. Somebody said unpopular opinion, bring Nene and Kim back. I am sorry. Now is the time to bring Nene and Kim back. Now is the time. Their lives have so much going on. Kim and everything she got going on, their lives, Portia, Nene, and Kim, both of them right now got a whole lot of mess going on in their lives. Whole lot of mess going on. It would be the perfect time to bring them back to the Housewives. Anyway, I'm finna hop off the line, guys. Got a whole lot of stuff. I got a conference call after this I got to work on about some budget stuff. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, and y'all make sure to get your candles. I'm burning at 305 right now, and it gave me a little sense of home. Dade County 305, live on the remix. Shouts out to DJ Chipman. And I'll call y'all tomorrow. Married to Madison and Patanka. Y'all will get that tomorrow, and we'll talk later. Bye.